Welcome to two brilliant guests. Erin is joining me, and as well Humayun. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can break it down in 3 pillars, essentially. The first thing that the conversation enhancement does is first analyzing, first of all, are you in a conversation? Mm-hmm. Secondly, where are the conversation partners? What are the dynamics? So we have about, I would say, 192,000 analysis of data points that you take acoustically, then you provide what is happening, and then afterwards is we develop those, we call it multi-streams. Basically, those multi-streams tracking what is happening, following the conversation partners. And then when you encapsulate those conversational partners, and then basically providing the enhancement to it. But also it's very dynamic. It always adapts and so on, because conversation or things, it is dynamic. So this is what in a nutshell. So basically providing a solution to conversation in a group conversation, or some say, providing a solution to the cocktail party problem and so on.
And Erin, what kind of difference does it make?
Trying to improve people's experience hearing speech, where they're in noisy situations, has really been a theme of hearing aids for quite a number of years, because, it's just a difficult situation when you get in some background noise and you're trying to hear speech. So hearing aids do already have some strategies to help with that, but there were some real limitations with them as well, in terms of, really needing to make sure you're always looking in the direction you want to hear best, and having to deal with some compromises that the hearing aids have to make between trying to give you the speech you want to hear while reducing competing sounds that you don't want to hear as well, right? So that's where this real-time conversation enhancement takes a big leap forward, in that it creates a more natural conversation experience. You don't have to focus as much, always making sure you're looking where you want to hear. You can relax a little bit. The hearing aids do a lot of that work for you, tracking where the speech is coming from, reacting instantly so you're not missing the first couple words when a new person starts to speak, and at the same time, keeping the competing sounds from interfering, but also keeping you in your environment so that you're aware of where you are.
That's quite interesting, because I've never tried a hearing aid, so for me it would be totally new. So can you explain to me just shortly what kind of life would I have if I sort of used the product for the first time? So let's say I go into a restaurant. How would I see that difference?
Well, assuming you go to a noisy restaurant and you have your, with your friends and so on. So the first time you're going to put it in, and what's going to happen is the conversation analysis is going to actually, first of all, see how noisy is this situation you're in, assuming it's very noisy. Secondly, it's going to see, you're having a conversation actually. So, what are the conversation partners? And all those things going to come really, really fast in real time is going to give you, first of all the babble noise, restaurant noise going to go down, and you'll be able for sure hear your conversation partners a lot easier. And then what I would like you to do afterwards, when you listen to it for, let's say, 5 minutes and so on, take it out.
Okay, but why?
Why? Because then you see, wow, was it that noisy? This is the delta, the difference that you see, how much support you got and so on. Because at one point you get used to it. It's like, it's not really noisy here. I hear it comfortably. But then you take it out, you see how difficult it was actually.
You've been the driver of real-time conversation enhancement. Tell me about that journey.
The journey actually started a long time ago. I would say maybe 9 years ago, essentially. This ideation was there. But of course, it took, we had several milestones that we reached, and finally, up to 2023, we reached that it was actually, final enough that we were confident that now it's a good thing.
So what's next? If we could talk about the real-time conversation enhancement, take a look into the future. What's waiting ahead?
I cannot tell you.
Because what? The world is open.
It's always a surprise.
Yeah.
No, I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It doesn't stop here. You want to go beyond real-time conversation enhancement, because conversation, we improve it maybe by this margin. We want to go higher. We want to understand what is the actual situation of the person as we speak in the moment, and then providing what should be the next enhancement. Do we, we have several chip generation, things that you can even put more and more features, similar as your smartphone. All the generation, you pack more things in more memory, more things you can do with it, and similar with the hearing aids. It's exactly the same. More things gonna come, more use cases that you can address.
Now it's time to have a few experiences from one of our audiologists. Welcome to you, Taryn. You are from South Africa. If you could make a wish for the future, what kind of improvements would you be needing to take care of these patients with these needs?
One of my wishes I've always had is direct connectivity to TV without an interface, without anything plugged into the back of the TV. TV, all our patients, they rely so much on their TV. At the moment, we've got cell phones that stream directly to our hearing aids, and that's life-changing. It's life-changing technology.
Wow.
And if we could do that with TVs as well.
Would this be possible within
I'm
a short
pretty
time?
sure in the future it will be. I cannot give you a time frame, but it's certainly this will come.
It will come, Taryn. So I think be optimistic. And do you have other questions?
Yeah, one of the features I'd love on the Signia app would be a Find My Hearing Aid feature. It's one of the features that I find so useful with hearing aid companies. And if a patient loses a hearing aid, it's a huge financial concern.
What do you think, Humanion? Would that be possible as well?
I'm just ideation in my head already.
Yeah.
And so on.
It's like the iPhone. Yeah.
Exactly. I think those are those are good pointers. And this is, we'll think about it, of course. And then also, cannot again tell you when, but those are the good things. But those are actually, as I mentioned, those are the problems what is the daily life of a person. Some experience those problems, some other problems, but you gather them, and at some point you find a solution, maybe not all at the same time, but gradually but surely.
And finally, is there one piece of good advice that you would give a person trying real-time conversation enhancement for the first time?
I would say put it on. Call a few friends or family, go out, do your social activity in a busy restaurant, and notice the difference. How did it help you? And I'm sure you'll be very, very satisfied.
Thank you, Humanion, Erin, and Taryn for joining Brilliant Talks. We have more guests on the next episodes to keep the conversation going. Be brilliant and see you next time.